you. Hello, hello, and good evening, everybody, or afternoon if you are in my part of the world. And we have already had somebody lag out of the session. That was Nikki. Uh, we're already getting started here with our quarter hour of qualifying here for the Singapore Grand Prix, round 3 of the FRL Championship. I'm Nexi. I'm joined in the comm box by Prides. Singapore, it's a long race ahead of them. One of the longest races on the calendar. It's a tough race. Usually we see some crashes here. One of the trickier
Yep,
tracks on the calendar. We'll see how
yep, and
qualifying goes.
yep, and I hear there's a Singapore Grand Prix without the annual safety car.
Indeed,
And
indeed.
you know, this is a long, grueling race, both both on the track layout and on the drivers themselves. It's a very, very humid environment.
Oh, yeah. See how well they manage to cope with these streets here in Singapore today. Our drivers' championship leader, he's currently Corvix. After 2 rounds, 2 wins, he's batting 100, as they might say. Taking the lead for McLaren. In second place in the driver's standings is Lenny after a double podium finish, but he is about 18 points behind his rival in the McLaren. Our season 6, or not season 6, excuse me, our season 4 champion Leo missed last week and demoting him down to P6 in the driver's standings. We'll see though if he's got anything in the tank today. Our constructors championship is currently seeing Leo leading, or not Leo. Can I talk today? The answer,
Apparently not.
yeah, the answer is no. Our constructors leader is Team Red Bull, and they have 64 points compared to McLaren's 55 as Circle struggled last weekend out. We then have Ferrari in third, Williams taking fourth after an impressive showing from Luck last week. He is currently out on track between an Aston Martin sandwich. Mercedes down in fifth. We're also missing the performances of Leo there. John not able to really keep them in that fight for second, but they are still a few good results away from putting up a good showing. Aston Martin in sixth, ahead of their closest rivals in Sauber and Alpine. We're going to be taking a quick look now as the qualifying session, begins. Tyler will be our first one to set a time.
Or rather, random.
Oh,
As
right.
he cross the line first. He is typically always the first one out.
Indeed. No, it will be Skylar setting the first time. No. Luck has invalidated. That's who I went to. Just ignore everything I say today is the mantra, apparently. Oh dear, oh dear. We do have random going on to the bridge section now. Kind of slow out of the bridge section. Not able to quite get on that power. You gotta be really careful on that exit going through here. It's very easy to cross all 4 tires over that little bit of white line and invalidate your lap, get a penalty. I'm expecting to see quite a few there as the Grand Prix goes on. Sierra has also lagged out of the session. I think Cornwall has struck again, as Random sets a 1:33.5, immediately beaten by Skylar with the 1:32.1. We'll be expecting pole time in the high 120. A lot of drivers going to be crossing the line. That's Laz setting a provisional pole time, only to be beaten out by the Alpine of Adrake. Avo also gets in there for 1:33.1. Tipping Random by a few temps. Circle for the McLaren team, looking for a little bit of redemption. Gets a provisional P2 right now with a 1:30.8. None of our big hitters have come out yet to set their time, but Corvix is about to start his flying lap. Lenny is also in a flyer now. A lot of drivers being quick. Yellow flags, it looks like, for an Aston Martin, just letting some drivers by.
And Lenny invalidates off just at the last possible moment.
Oh, not a good sign there for the Red Bull driver looking to continue a driver's championship fight. Really not what you want to see from that team right now. Corvix is now making his way through Sector 2, going through what, well, approaching what at one point was the Singapore Sling soon enough. We no longer have that corner.
Yep. Never think your lucky stars that these graphic cars aren't going through the sling as it originally was.
Indeed. Ooh, Corvix getting right on using as much track as he can right now.
He likes to do things at razor thin margins.
Indeed.
The pun.
You see like an inch from the wall on the exit there. That's what it felt like, and it rewards him with a 128.4.
Like I was saying.
That lap is something else, and you can really see what separates the front pack from the rest. How close, how much they are willing to get on those curves, get up to those walls with a street track, so your line's often right up to the wall, and it's how much you are willing to gamble any given lap for time. Couple drivers slowing up as the pit dance begins over on the front straight. Theo also doing his best to use as much of that track as he can. Set up a late apex as you go on down. Passes by Corvix going into the sling section. Still has a curvy feel as you go through. Here, now going through the bridge. Takes a little bit of outside curb. Uses. Ooh! Any wider, and he'd have invalidated right then and there. That is, I think, as much track as you could use without breaking the rules through that section. And just dance at the apex. You don't really want to be using that curb. It's a little bit elevated. He does set a 129.1.
Something must have been here for two of our Mercedes-powered drivers to pull that sort of stuff.
Indeed, they are doing very well for that engine and that car. But it's currently Corvix on top by 7 tenths right now. See what else they got in them. A whole lot of drivers on their outlet right now. And it's Nikki, a returning reserve driver now for the AlphaTauri team.
Or what looks to be the AlphaTauri car.
Yeah. The V-Carb, AlphaTauri, whatever we are doing here. Here it goes. Braking right at that 50-meter board, zooming it around. This is a livery that has been around for a little while. But many of you are used to seeing it. And right on through that sling. Taking the late apex there. Not quite on the power as fast as you can be. Maybe, but... Yes. Ooh.
Stay on that razor's edge. That the exit after that long bridge is a bit a bit difficult when it comes to track limits. A bit tricky.
Yeah, it'll often catch you out. I'm expecting most of our time penalties to come from that section. So far, at least in qualifying, the drivers have kept it within the line. We were in
I mean, with this, probably with the sole exception of Lenny before.
Indeed. Lenny is on, I believe, a flying lap. A couple drivers finally letting him go. I think he was caught up in the traffic there a little bit. A little frustrating as you're going through the sling section. And here he goes onto the bridge. The DRS flap opens up. Getting it right to that curb. Once again on the razor's edge! Ooh. Very nice. Both tires were on that white line. That was a matter of inches right there.
As he comes even closer to a wall.
Indeed. It's only enough to get him a 129.3. And he's actually behind his teammate. I wonder if he was held up there for a little bit.
Must be. So currently it's a all Red Bull Honda second row.
Indeed. That's kind of where they've been for the past few weekends, at least in the quali pace. Very consistent form from the outfit here as they go through and hope to keep their lead in the Constructors' Championship. So far, it's looking promising with their positions to start compared to the second McLaren driver. They're both holding down in ninth, but every driver has set a time. Random did improve to a 132.8. That puts them ahead of Avo. Avo is going to be looking to fight back. Now, Aston Martin. Usually a pretty tight fight toward the back end of the grid. Just points-wise. What else they can do, though? With very odd camera angles. Avo's skidding a little bit on the exit of the bridge, kicking up some rubber. Not what you want to see whenever you see a car do those little wheel skids. They're putting traction into that shaking movement from side to side. You're exceeding the acceleration of your tires. And so you're not getting the full traction you would get to go accelerate. And in fact, the Avo is aborting that lap. Heels off into the pits. That might have also just been his third lap out. Tyler is on another hot lap. Yes, whenever you get that kind of an acceleration out, you're not putting that force towards getting the car to go faster in the straight line. You're slipping, you're sliding. Physics. Beautiful, but it essentially just means you slow down, you lose your potential for that straight a little bit. And this is a game of seconds. Skylar going through to Sling now. Onto the long bridge, end off Sector 2. DRS wing opens up for the Canadian Dragon. Ooh, and he hits the
touches the wall.
That's gonna cost him a couple attempts. We'll see if he continues on or if he aborts. Might have time to change and get back out if he wants to. No, he's gonna finish up the lap.
And he validates anyway.
Not an ideal lap from the Aston Martin driver right there. So his final time is a 1:32.1. This just isn't really their track so far. Leo is coming out on an outlap. He's going to be pretty early on. Bunch of drivers coming out now. Circle has promoted up to P7 with a 1:30.3. Couple other drivers now making their way through. Random is on a flying lap, having to get by traffic. Couple other drivers coming in on an out lap right now. So they are swapping about. Avo is coming out to try again. And our leading Mercedes driver right now is going to be on a flying lap. 2 minutes to go in Singapore's qualifying time as everybody is out there. They're going to be trying to set their final times. Leo manages to get by before Sector 1 really starts to whine. And we enter Sector 2. On the power. He's not going to be running into traffic in the Sling, it looks like, unless that Red Bull is very slow. That's really ideal. You don't want to find the traffic here in the Sling. See if he has anything in him to challenge for pole. He is up on his previous time. He will be entering the 1:28. Assuming no big mistakes. Red Bull does let him go. Entering what at one point would have been a trip underneath the stands in the tunnel, but now it's just a straight before this final little chicane, and that is a 1:28.8 from the German. Lenny and Sierra will have a chance to challenge for that front row, and Corvix will have a chance to defend. So you do need about a second at this point in order to catch that American driver.
Who is making that MCL 60 look like an MCL 38.
Yeah. You're not really wrong there right now.
And especially fitting at this very track right now. As Corvix, as I was saying, sets his personal best Sector 1.
Yeah. This is quite a time coming in from the American driver, driving for the Woking outfit. Here we go, going through the Sling and onto the big bridge. I know that's not its official name, but I'm going to call it the Big Bridge. I think it's right on the edge. He goes to set up this is shortly a personal best sector 2 right now. We'll see what he's got as he goes through the final sector, almost hitting the wall. 128.3. His car kicked out a little bit at the end there, but
still, he is quite comfortably the fastest.
he did it by 5 tenths. Lenny did manage to beat out Leo by 100th of a second there to get that Red Bull onto the front row. But for now,
so it means it's, as you say,
for now, it is a dominant showing in the first qualifying session from the Woking outfit, and Corvix, our championship leader, managing to beat out his competition by 5 tenths. Lenny did have a good improvement, though, to get himself onto that second row, 128.8. Q2, barely beating out Leo. The 128.835 was his final time. Zero manages to be the last driver to break the 128 barrier. Just barely, though. A 128.9. Other notable movements, John does manage to get into P7, beating out Sergal Kamaru. His horror showings in the qualifying sessions so far. In P9.
Perhaps the Marina Bay Street Circuit doesn't quite speak to him.
Yeah, this is a track a lot of these drivers either really like or they really hate. My with them. It's a very tricky track.
Yeah, street circuits are like Marmite. No sense.
Indeed. Gonna look at the Singapore paddock. It is 12:30 Central U.S. time. Where I'm at, and that is local Singapore time. Could have looked that up.
It's likely 1:30 in the morning. Last I check.
Predicted strategies beyond the usual one-stop affair from these half-full distance Grand Prix. I could see somebody trying to make a two-stop work. Or at least gambling on the car. I believe every time FRL has come here, there has been a safety car.
Much like most of real life races. With the exception of, what was it, 2024 was the only time we didn't have a safety car.
Potentially, I can't remember. I'm not the inside. Though I do have some good knowledge of this. I mean, we all know that the most famous safety car from a Singapore Grand Prix. Let's hope we don't have that. As intentionally crashing your car is strictly against the rule here in FRL. We'll see if anybody gets any funny ideas, though. We're always vigilant.
Notwithstanding the BWT Alpine F1 team.
Yeah.
Under the Renault guys.
They do have a Brazilian driver, don't they?
No.
No, Random's
Town Matrix Portuguese.
They speak the same language. Keep an eye on him. Now that's just profiling on my part. I'm in my terrible joke mode, apparently.
But unlike Nelson Piquet Jr., our our Portuguese driver isn't a total wet noodle of a driver.
Yeah, he is currently in on the third row to lead it off, but leading off our Grand Prix with a dominant showing in qualifying today. Corvix leading off Lenny, who managed to barely get ahead Leo for that second spot on the front row. Our leading Mercedes driver leads off the second row in a Red Bull sandwich. Sierra lining up in fourth. Hey, Drake. Hopefully keeps it out of the wall today. He's in fifth. And in sixth is Luck, our sole Williams representative today, and doing pretty well for himself there. We have John, the second Mercedes, beating the second McLaren of Circle. Then we have Kimaru in ninth. And Nikki, our reserve driver, leading out the points in P10 as we start to wiggle around. Laz is our second Sauber driver. He's in 11th. Skylar leads off the Aston Martin pair in 12th. Avo managed to keep it from last in 13th. And then it's random, the edge of the grid, though apparently he has gotten ahead of Avo for the formation. Corvix is going to be leading our drivers now through to Singapore Sling. This used to be quite a turn. Mounted curbs galore. Not quite as bad. But those curves are still tricky. They're still raised up curves. They can launch you if you're not careful. And throughout this Grand Prix, we should see the drivers taking care around them to barely hit those apexes, but not really use all of those curves. Going through the exit of the bridge, that little section of yellow painted tarmac is off of track limits, so it is very easy to go over. As we have talked about throughout the qualifying session, 31 laps await.
We've hit the final corner into Formula One's original night race.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Quite a spectacle to see a race at night. Take a look at the tire compounds as well. Most of the grid opting for the medium tire to start. Nikki on the hard tire. Same with Avo. Skylar is our sole driver on the softs. Adric really pulling off to the inside there. At least on my end of the starting grid, as we are moments away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. FRL's away in Singapore as Corvix and Lee both get decent launches. Lenny is going to be hovering the inside of Leo right now. Corvix manages to hold on to the lead. And so far it's Adric battling Luck towards the back. The Williams driver managed to cannon up. Adric having a slow start, as now they are fighting with the Williams driver of Luck. It is neck and neck back there, but Adric is going to be falling back as the McLaren of Circle squeezes to the inside of that wall. They got very close there. John of the Mercedes is also going to be looking to capitalize on Adric's poor start, and it's come undone for the Alpine team. As we now enter Sector 2, Corvix leading the Singapore Grand Prix, and a couple of groups already starting to form up. Corvix already has 7 temps on Lenny right now, and this race has just started. We'll see what manages to happen, though. The big thing that will decide a lot of this race is what will happen with the DRS zone here. DRS is activated on lap 3. That's what we gotta watch out for right now, as our first tour of the Singapore streets is about to come to a close. Circle does manage to get by the outside. Have a bit of a gap to them. Corvix sets the pace at a 1:33.9 to start this Grand Prix off. John looking to the inside of A-Drake in turn 1. A-Drake's off track. Cut the corner a little bit of wheel banging. A-Drake's keeping it in there despite being off track. We'll see what they manage to do. That's a wild move battle right there on the lead lap. And that might have to be looked at. As currently these two just fighting hard to keep it together. Corvix has managed to eke out a second gap to Lenny, who is not quite keeping it in this fight right now. He needs to keep it within a second if he wants to have a shot at winning this Grand Prix. You let Corvix go, he'll just disappear off into the sunset. Well, I suppose the sunrise here in the Singapore streets. Lenny managing to narrow it just slightly, but we are on the razor's edge. He might even have to deploy battery just to keep it within that second gap. He should manage to get DRS. Leo might not. With borderline right now. And our leading battle could be determined right here, right now. I think Lenny will have it. Yeah, Lenny will have it, and he'll be able to stay within Corvix for a little bit. Just gotta find a way to start getting some momentum, though. ACB wants to put up a good challenge for this driver's title. The two of them now are going to be duking it out in the DRS zones. Looking further back, Mickey is currently under threat from the leading Aston Martin on those soft tires. Skylar likes to go for two-stop strategies. It's a little unorthodox. But we'll see what he's able to do as Corvix is out!
Corvix is out. Corvix. He's hit the wall. He has hit the wall.
He hit it in the Singapore sling, and that is a virtual safety car. Suddenly, things are wide open for this Grand Prix.
This Singapore Grand Prix is just like that, been flipped on its head.
Singapore does have a habit of making unusual winners out, even in the most dominant of runs. Red Bull are no strangers to that. It is the one blemish on their IRL perfect season. And even here, see what's going on.
Not to mention the great Mercedes-Benz. Once had a difficult 2015 Singapore Grand Prix.
Indeed.
This track is not kind to any leaders. It's not kind.
Couple drivers going into the pits. It makes sense for Skylar to go into the pits. He's probably aboard a two-stop idea. Luck also went into the pits. He might have had wing damage. We'll see as the virtual safety car comes to an end. Will Leo have a chance to get at Lenny, or will this be Lenny's race to lose? It is currently a three-way fight for the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix, because let's not discount Sira being here. And sometimes these guys do like to fight each other, even if they are on the same team. So this shows you the danger of the Singapore sling. It was the sling that caught out our McLaren driver. The Woking outfit going to be devastated, as now they're going to be hoping on Sergal to keep them in the constructors' fight. Red Bull, though currently this will be a huge swing for Red Bull at both for the drivers and constructors standings. And we were just talking about momentum. And if you're looking for momentum, this is the kind of swing you need if you are the Red Bull outfit. Drake leading the sole Renault-powered powertrain through into turn 1. And there's a little bit of a fight going on here between Sergel and John. The two historic outfits looking to fight it out. And they both have DRS. So it's just going to be a fight of pure straight pace for these two. At least until A-Drake gets involved, if he's reeled in by the McLaren driver here. See what they managed to do as Leo is currently out of DRS for the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix. Maru back there is in the vague vicinity of this fight for 4th. Could manage to make something happen here. Luck and Avo are on hard tires, and Luck is going to be putting some pressure on the random in Williams. There we go! Ooh. Almost bump drafting.
And Skylar's out. Safeguard. Got safety car. Like I said, you don't get a Singapore Grand Prix without a safety car popping up.
Like random is very slow, putting a little bit of pressure onto the driver for whatever reason, as a couple drivers pitting now. That's Sierra, A-Drake, Sergel, Kimaru pitting, Nikki pitting, and most of the field's going in for hard tires. They might just try to make them last. Nikki's going in for medium tires. They're gonna have to stop again. A couple other drivers staying out. It feels too early, so the hard tires might be able to make it by the end. More importantly for the Mercedes outfit, this does put you back into the fight. And it also allows John to get up in on this fight after he got track position off of some of the cars behind him. Well, also, a lot of those guys are going to be going to the end, or at least trying to. See what they're able to do, as there's a little bit of a train forming up behind Random, who stayed out. He's currently running P7, but now Aston Martin's hopes are on the bird.
Their only hope is on their fellow countrymen.
Indeed. Free drivers, we'll see what they decide to do here.
Before that safety car came out, I was internally wondering that Leo might as well be... I was internally wondering that Leo may be in need of any proper wingman.
Indeed. Does have John now.
Yeah. Any rear gunner to keep him safe from the likes of Sierra.
Indeed, we'll see what happens here. I did see Lenny try to fake out Leo with a little bit of a pit. He looked like he was entering the pits. I don't know if that was a fake out or if that was just Lenny having a moment of indecision. We'll see what this Grand Prix holds. We got a couple interesting choices having been made. A couple drivers in the back are on fresh mediums. They will have to stop again. But it does...
The fake out is a legitimate strategy.
Oh yeah, we've seen.
This, yeah, this sport is mainly mind games.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about mainly games, but there are a lot
Well,
of them. A lot of I think an unofficial catchphrase last year was "box to overtake." Some of them in very weird circumstances, but hey, sometimes you just gotta put a little bit of pressure onto the other drivers here. As Lenny leads the pack through the safety car queue, safety
yep.
car will be
And
coming in.
just we called. Just I was about to mention that since Burt Myling during the Aston Martin V8 Vantage safety car called in.
Did
Yeah.
oh,
But I see
that's
front wing
great
pits.
that,
But
and it's a oh dear.
I think we've got connection issues.
I think we have an issue. This might be the red flag that a bunch of these guys need right now, as FRL for now is getting back underway in Singapore. We'll see what's going on. No. Do keep me updated. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Apparently, Lenny has a pit limiter on in the middle of Sector 1 and switched to hard tires and has gone through the wall and is
and his front wing seems to be magically back on as well.
That is
this is disastrous.
And he still looks like he has a pit limiter on.
No, he seems to be back up to full speed. This is I don't think I've seen this in my lifetime.
I don't think I've seen it. Oh my god, F123. Oh, F123.
In all of my life from F120 to skip to 22, 23, 24, I never think I would see this live on screen.
Oh dear. And John's in the lead.
I still PA on my screen. This is cataclysmic.
Oh dear. Where is Leo on my screen? Where is he?
He still looks to be P5 on my end. But ghosted.
No, I mean like in terms of inviting him back in.
This.
What is going on?
And now John's out. Got
No,
another safety car. Full safety car.
I see a VSC, not a full. Oh, but there's the full safety car. But like, it's virtual safety car. Can you get Leo an invite? Oh no, it's Kyler got it. John is out. Lenny's in last. Zira is winning the Singapore Grand Prix. The safety car has stopped on my end. It's waiting.
Yeah, it's stopped on my end too. This is a first.
her so much. I'm sorry.
And now Leo's AI
What?
is pinning. I my head my head is hurting.
Oh dear. Oh.
I can't even get my
Are we
brain
doing
working.
anything special for this?
I can't even form words. I can't even get my own
Alright.
brain to work and form words. This is unprecedented.
Hold on. This is certainly one of the races. Why can't I find Leo in the list? That's Lenny, Prince, Sierra, Skylar. Oh, there he is.
And now Laz is an AI.
Laz is too. Laz is stopped on my end.
He's went off into that runoff after.
What is happening? So John's out, Skylar's out, Corvix is out.
I don't even.
I think the ghost of Nelson PK Jr. has cursed us after we slandered his name. Oh dear lord. Oh god. So, it's lap 11. I'm gonna give a full race update. Sierra is currently in the lead for the Red Bull team. Then A-Drake in second, and Circle rounding out the podium. Luck is in fourth. Umaru is in fifth. Leo is in sixth and has to pit again because he started on the mediums and pit for fresh mediums. Nikki is in seventh. Lenny is in eighth. Avo is in ninth. Laz is in 10th. And Random is in 11th.
And safety cars being called in.
Yeah, we'll see what the attrition has. A-Drake pulling off to the side of Sierra a little bit. It looks like we're just gonna keep going with this Grand Prix. There are usual red flag conditions have not been met. As chaotic as this has been.
Perhaps this track was not a bit of a good fit.
Yes, here we go! FRL is once again away in Singapore! Sierra getting a good launch. Handled that restart very well. As now we go through Sector 1. A-Drake going here. I don't know if most of these guys can go to the end. Leo does have to pit again. Luck definitely has to pit again. A couple of these guys might be able to get away with it. Depending on how cars are looking after all the safety cars. There might be another safety car too. Who knows? As A Drake wiggles a little bit, trying to keep up with with Sierra.
And Sierra. Yeah, wrong team.
I think this race has broken my brain as Leo is looking to get by the Sauber of Kimaru back there. Kimaru running his highest so far this season.
But there's a little bit of contact on my
Little
end.
bit. That I think that might have just been incidental coming from different acceleration points. As Leo does get through. We do have, he's now going to be catching up to his old teammate of luck here. Hungarian driver pulling to the inside of Sergel and managing to get by. Sergel now going to be trying to defend from the German Dragon. He will have a vicious look to him.
But luck goes off.
Luck is off.
Oh, luck seems...
Luck now trying to defend for the Sauber as Leo gets back into the podium spot. This is still, if he manages to hold on to the podium spots, he still gets a good point swing, considering Corvix is completely out. Lenny's not in a position to get the point swing he was potentially looking at the start of this.
Anyway, he was hoping for.
Indeed. It looks like for the Woking outfit, this race is coming about as undone as the fabric of reality in this game. But Leo is currently within DRS of Adric. Sierra is managing to break that DRS range. Is DRS enabled right now? I believe it should be. If not, it will be next
No.
lap. No. Okay, so next lap. This is just kind of showing you how much pace Leo has in that car right now. Fresh mediums against slightly used up hard tires. He probably knows he has to stop again. It'll probably be for softs. Unless another safety car comes out, which is always the unless on this track. There's the DRS.
Yeah, there's our notification.
Yep, we do have Nikki in the back there leading a little bit of a train. Avo is keeping it up with Lenny right now. That's the power of those medium tires. Lenny at one point was leading this Grand Prix and looked set to win it until a couple other safety cars came out and
now he's just in the middle of nowhere.
Indeed, it's become a recovery race for him on those hard tires. Bravo is looking to get aggressive, but Leo is looking to fight with Sierra. He's on the inside. Sierra tries to squeeze around the apex, but Leo has the lead going through the sling.
Very rarely do we see an overtake on the Singapore sling of all corners.
Indeed, he just had the right line going into it. He could straight line it a little bit better than Sierra could. That combined with the medium tires traction, you can see what that difference does as there's a yellow flag out in Sector 2. It's random. Not enough to bring out the safety car. He might have just spun it. That does bring Avo up into P10.
And that brings the likes of Lenny into his clutches.
But Lenny's up in P8 right now.
He's reading his P11 on my screen.
He's P8 on mine.
What is happening?
I think we've entered 5D Formula 1 with multiverse time travel as Leo has the lead in lap 15 of 31.
Man. In the lead I can see.
Yeah. So the race update for your sake, it's Leo leading Sierra, then it's A-Drake, then it's Luck, then it's Sergal, Himaru, Mickey, Lenny, Les, Avo, Random. Oh, Avo is now fighting Random in the back there. Nope, Random is teleporting around. Random has overtaken Avo using the brand new Renault time machine. They are now fighting.
Yeah. And on my end, Random's 2.2 seconds behind the Lone Master.
Who knows what the drivers are seeing right now?
I don't know which is right.
I don't know either. We have desynced very badly. Leo has managed to get a second ahead of Sierra, but Sierra has tiny bit of DRS to like even it up. I don't think Sierra's able to just keep up on those hard tires right now. Luck is currently 1.5 back from A-Drake, and we are starting to get into a bit of a rhythm as Laz and Lenny are fighting. Laz has overtaken Lenny. I don't know if that is correct, though.
Still reading his P8 on my part.
Yeah, Laz is in P8 for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And Laz still in Lenny's still in P11 on my end. Just.
Yeah, for me, that's Avo in P11. Oh dear lord. Currently seeing Laz, like Lenny is currently dropping back to Laz is a statement that I never thought I would say in the longest time. The Sauber team,
Yeah.
and this is true, and not the Sauber, and not like Mr. Sauber's biggest dreams. No, he's in the pits. Lenny's in the pits. Lenny is showing his in the pits for me. But the pits are the back straight, and now he's underneath
He jumped up. What's happening?
Now Lenny's in Sector 3 with the pit limiter on as Avo's properly in the pits.
Yeah. Lenny's on he's on Raffles Boulevard proper.
Oh, now I'm seeing Lenny actually go in the pits. But now he's on start-finish straight. I'm getting a shot of the Ferrari pit wall. I didn't realize they had their engineers show up today. Who knows what is going on? I don't. Leo's in the lead. I think when I put this onto my VODs, I'm just gonna call it Reality Has Come Undone. Either that or I'll call it 5D Formula 1 with multiverse time travel. Dear God, that's what it feels like. Is what in the world has happened? A-Drake's over there. Luck is chasing down A-Drake for P3. Lenny is in P11. Avo is in P10. They're looking to fight. Luck is currently in the DRS range as they go through the Singapore Sling. They're going to enter that detection point for the bridge. Thera might get drawn into this fight, and it will become a fight for P2, but Luck is looking to get back onto the podium. The Hungarian driver is going to be... Ooh, had a thought of it, but decided against going for it there. Right on it. You can smell that podium, and A-Drake has just used up all of his battery, I think.
Yeah, his backlights were also flashing. And so,
Yep,
but
and Luck is
looks
peeling
like
off
he's
some
diving into
tires.
the pits.
Yeah, those are 14-lap-old hard tires. It does make sense. Little bump going into the pits. Our race leader is Leo, I think, followed by Sierra in second, maybe, and Adric in third, potentially.
Yeah, that's the only top 3 to 5 that looks accurate on both our ends.
Indeed,
But sound seems to have cut off just a millisecond my end too.
yeah, your mic was also cutting in and out there a little bit on my end. Maybe, maybe you are having some internet difficulties, or maybe we're all just in this world, and this world is one of pure chaos, and there's no earthly way of telling where we are going. Virgil is in P4. A good recovery drive from the Woking outfit. Tomorrow's in P5, and this is currently his best pace of the year so far. The Sauber team is going to be very happy with that, as Sierra goes into the pits for the Red Bull team. Leo might be thinking about pitting himself soon enough. Might also be looking to get onto soft tire later, but mediums are going to conk out at around lap 14. And I don't think anybody wants to fight with conditions as they are. I currently have Lenny in the lead of the Grand Prix.
Huh?
What?
And reads P8 on my part.
I don't think Lenny is in the lead of the Grand Prix. Especially because the game is saying that Leo is less than 1/10 of a second behind him. Which is evidently not true.
Yeah, which is just plain wrong, and the only car that's behind Vettel Mercedes 10 seconds back is an Alpine.
Yeah, Leo does go into the pits, so I am expecting a set of hard tires to come on to the Mercedes car. Are those soft tires? Those are soft tires.
Yeah, those are red walls.
Well, he's just gonna try taking a set of softs to the end. Sergel does... okay, Lenny is back in P11. I don't know if P11 is where he actually is, but it's allegedly where he is. Leo does manage to stay ahead of Sierra, crucially enough. Drake and Sergel, I don't think, can take those hards to the end. They're gonna have to stop. Lenny has jumped up to the lead of the Grand Prix on my end again. Sierra manages to get by Kimaru on those 15-lap-old medium tires. But these soft tires should give Leo enough time to build up a little bit of a gap. Nikki going into the pits and putting on fresh mediums. He should be okay to go to the end now with those meat. Same with Sierra, same with Gluck. Same with Lenny. No matter where he finishes. Who knows where he's gonna end up finishing? I don't know. So currently have okay, so now I have A Drake leading the Grand Prix, and that seems correct.
Yeah, that seems correct on both our ends.
Yeah, just given everything that has happened, I think our current order is A Drake, Sergal, Leo, Sierra, Luck, Kimaru, Laz, both of them running very good for the Salvers. And then Random. Where is Random in relation to Lenny? Oh, Random has a time penalty. Like, I guess where is Lenny in this? At least on my end, where he is on track is last. I don't know if that is true. So here's my big question mark.
He is really P7 on my part.
That
between the two Salvers.
That feels more right. It just feels right knowing his pace. But who knows?
He may be, who knows, he might be further up or down knowing him.
He might be in the lead for all I know.
Maybe not exactly, but I mean, I'd probably give out a very, very rough estimate as probably somewhere near enough P5 or P6. Probably a lot
Yellow flags
closer.
are out for Random back there. Looks like he had a spin exiting the sling. Oh my god. Leo does manage to get by Sergal. That is for some nice track position. Juicy track position. Sergal's gamble, staying out on the hard tires, is not paying off at this point. Well, I mean, at this point, if you're those two, you kind of just have to stay out. Because pitting right now just sets you so far back. You just have to gamble on it and hope that you can, like, make it to the end without a puncture. Sierra is going to be getting by Sergal momentarily.
Another yellow flag.
Yeah? I'm not sure who that was for.
That's an AlphaTauri. It's off.
It could be Nicky then. Lenny has teleported back to P10 on my end. There's your time travel update. Seeing Avo start to try to catch up to the back of that. Dear God, what is going on?
As I've just seen it, Nicky's just clipped off an end plate.
Oh boy.
As I see it.
Let me see. Yeah, I also see that too. I think the only driver right now that is. Oh my goodness! I just saw Nicky crash into nothing and retire.
Crash into the tech pro barriers.
For me, it was nothing, but this is amazing news if you are A Drake. Everybody finishes with points today. But if you are A Drake, you now have a shot at winning this Grand Prix. You just gotta pit onto those soft walled, red walled tires.
And you have to pray, just pray that, say, pretty much the top two dragons behind them
Yeah.
don't just threaten them.
Leo going into the pits as well as A Drake. Sierra should be pitting as well. Everybody should be pitting for softs, and we'll have a nice little end of the race 5-lapper. Luck decides to stay out. Sergal is... Oh, no, they're all pitting. I just got...
You just got a little sidetracked.
Yeah, this race has broken my brain. Be quite honest with you.
I concur. Nothing looks right. I don't even have
Yep.
I mean, I don't have a separate stream on side to side to give a frame of reference.
Oh my god. So Lenny has just pit on the bridge for me. I don't think my positioning of Lenny is correct.
Yeah. He's on the bridge on your end, and on my part, he's on Raffles Boulevard.
Yeah, oh, there he goes now.
On Redwall Softs.
Yeah. We'll see how the drivers manage to cope racing with him. Random is on mediums. He's the only one on mediums. He should be pitting for softs. No, he is not.
No, he doesn't.
Okay. I can hand the cake. I think I quite need that cake. Dear God. This has been... Of all of the Grand Prix that I have witnessed both in the cockpit and as a commentator here, this is one of them.
And Lenny is disconnected.
Okay, and now it shows me him in P7, which feels a lot more correct for me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we
P6.
needed.
Or jumped up to P6, just as you're saying it.
Did. Maybe that's where he should be.
I have the utmost temptation to just slam my skull onto the nearest desk.
Save it for after the race.
Yeah.
We still got a 5-lapper to finish out here. And you know what? Fittingly enough, for all this chaos, it's a Renault in the lead after a safety car.
A Renault, well, one Alpine in the lead, and the other Renault power car just Narnia.
They've enhanced their strategy. They figured out that you don't need to crash your own car, you just need to warp reality around the track.
Lenny has rejoined session.
This was...
Either this is gonna get counted in, or might as well be spinned off as a non-championship event. Because of all this happening.
Yeah. I mean, in my heart, I want this race to count, but I think it's ultimately just up to a decision of the
Yeah.
drivers. And considering we've gone
Uh,
this far, I do hope it counts.
yeah.
If only to keep things interesting, and also because it is really funny.
Still, I haven't seen a race with this much attrition since Baku, Azerbaijan Season 3, if I
Yeah, though
remember
we've
right.
had that race had a lot more attrition than this.
Yeah.
This one just had a time traveling Lenny, which, all things considered, I think the time traveling machine, God, what was his name? The Renault boss, Briatore. That
Flavio Briatore.
Yeah, I think Briatore's reality warping machine has been turned off and normalcy has returned to the streets of Singapore.
So this is Flavio's wet dream,
It
if I were
really is.
to be a little, not a little filthy.
I think we've earned it after this. We've earned a little
This
bit
is,
of not for TV.
you know, I mean, this is Flavio's dream, because we have both of his cars in points, especially is his fellow countrymen to gain a single point.
I think, will this
Fact,
be Random's first championship point for FRL if he makes it?
at at this point, it may be, as it looks like he bumps past Savory before giving the position back. It's 9-10 for all bumper cars. The safety car restarts on my end.
Yeah, that tends to happen. Right, Daedrake wiggling his rear wing at the rest of the field.
It's the moment of truth.
We'll see if he can time this well. We'll see what Leo has. We'll see what he has. We are moments away. Daedrake sets the pace. There we go! We're away in Singapore for the last time! And Daedrake is ahead. Sierra looking to the inside of Leo, but Daedrake manages to get the restart time. Not quite as beautifully as Sierra did earlier, but it's a pretty good restart. Bought him half a second right now, as Leo is looking. He is smelling that blood in the water. Only a few laps to go right now. And there will only be, I think, 1 or 2 with DRS. Little bit of a wide moment for the Williams back there as we go through. Then it is Sergel and Lenny. Then Kimaru, Avo. Avo, I think, is in his best finishing spot of the year so far. Then it is Laz and Random leading away to field as we go through. Daedrake has managed to get to 8/10 right now. Leo looking to bite in a little bit of that time. Daedrake, though, is fighting for this win. Here we go right now. We are about to begin lap 29 of the Singapore Grand Prix. And
And he spun it, he spun it!
He spun!
Oh!
I think the pressure got to him and he spun in Sector 3. I think he mounted that curve a little bit, got a little too much power on it. Avo has a 3-second time penalty for track warming. Daedrake has a 3-second time penalty. No, that's a 5-second.
And he's in the pit.
And he's
retired.
retired.
And Avery picks up a 5-second time penalty for being in the pit lane.
How did he... What? Avo's not in the pits on my end. Oh, Oh no, it's happened to him.
Ah,
Uh, looks like Flavio's time machine just took a momentary break and decided to harass a British bird.
yeah.
As she looks on,
So,
goes out now. That'll still be P9. Still respectable.
so I'm guessing at this point Flavio's now ripping his hairs out.
Indeed. Tried to turn on the time machine, but a little bit too late as his own driver retired in the pits in P10. I think we're at the race distance where you still get the point.
I think what 90% of race distance.
Yep. What is 90% of 31? It's about 3. That's 10%. So about 29. So I think it would actually be lap 29. Doing the mental math in my head. Leo is currently leading the Singapore Grand Prix. This is what he needed for his title championship. Fight.
And by that point, DRS is now re-enabled.
Indeed. Sierra, though, is right on the edge. He did manage to get it. 2 Saubers are strung out. And it's random in P8, potentially.
Yeah, P on my end as well.
Which would be, I think, his highest.
In his whole career, actually.
Exactly. Very good to make it through this wild ride of a Grand Prix right now. Oh, it's not quite over yet. Leo going across the bridge for the penultimate time, and now in the back straight. You no longer go through the tunnel here.
No longer go in front of the Marina grandstands, facing the bay.
Yep. And here we go. The final lap of the Singapore Grand Prix has begun. Leo is looking to get his first victory of the year. Lenny has a time penalty for track limit warnings. As Leo gets that late apex, Luck is going to be looking for P2. He's on the podium right now. And this is, I think, a strong result for the Williams team as he looks to the inside of Sierra and he gets by Sierra. Sierra pushed a little bit out wide. He's going to be fighting his own fight with the Williams driver. There's a little bit of wheel banging, wall banging. Sierra's back in second right now. We have Luck down in the third. The DRS not able to help him get by Sierra. These two, though, might have cost themselves their shot at the lead, but we'll see. Sierra's gonna have one more chance. Across this DRS zone through the bridge. Luck will have another shot as well. Sierra has used up a lot of battery here as these drivers go through. We're migrating host again! As Adric leaves the session, and the Williams bangs into the Red Bull of Sierra right there. As he kind of just sent it, and that puts him into the lead. But he also did kick Sierra into the wall. I don't know if that'll stand at the end. But here we go. The shootout is over. The chaos is done. Leo wins the Singapore Grand Prix.
Redemption.
He manages to take his first victory of the season. And that is a 25-point swing to Corvix, if it stands. We have Luck in P2, Sierra in P3 for now. Then it's Sergal, Lenny, Kibaru, Laz, Random with his highest finish of the year so far. Highest finish of his career. And Ava with his highest finish of the year. Very. That was a race.
It was one of the more unorthodox races that we have ever commentate on.
Indeed. Hopefully there's less reality-altering devices next time. Luck is apparently the driver of the day, according to the game.
Likely, likely for eventually triumphing over Sierra. Likely.
Likely. I think the driver of the day, if I may get one more cheap joke in, I think the driver of the day clearly is Nelson Piquet Jr. This was a spirit of his career. Truly. So as things stand, Leo gets 26 points for the Mercedes outfit right now. Red Bull do get good 25 points on the constructors, which helps maintain their lead. McLaren only getting 12, putting them a little bit further behind in that fight. Williams get 18 points. Very good for them to kind of edge out the rear of the pack here. Sauber also got a really good result, with Maru and Laz getting the team's joint best finish of the year so far, and that puts them ahead of Aston Martin. Standings to the back. Very good race from those two. That was a chaotic race. We are going to be going for a little bit of a break here in FRL for a couple weeks. And our next race of the season is going to be, let me double check. Yep.
The Spanish Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Presented by Santander.
That'll be on March 1st, followed by, on March 8th, the Las Vegas Grand Prix.
First,
you needed
first
more.
First Vegas race since season 3.
Indeed.
Which is likely the same as our preceding Singapore Grand Prix.
Yeah. So if you want to see more time machines, more 5D Formula 1, tune in. You might also have some normal racing too, if EA is not enough to allow that. But until then, though, I have been Nexi. I'm joined here by Pritas. This was certainly a race. I had a good time commentating it. I hope you guys at least had fun watching it, because oh, that was certainly,
it was something.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that it was something.
All right, I am going to on my end find a channel to trade. I hope you have a break. Truly just kind of digest what happened here. I'll give that Tiz is playing Gran Turismo. I'll give him some love. One of my fellow lead paw drivers.
In the case of IRL Formula 1, catch the F175 livery launch in the, I think, 18th of February. Live in London.
Yeah. Till then, take care.